Hey, it's Damien from Slot Car, and today I want to drive, never had one before, the Scalextric Mustang. Fastback Mustang, one that's just been recently released. I'll drive it around, you can have a closer look. Yep, there it is, and doesn't it look fantastic? So this is a newly released model, John Bower model, driven at the Clipsal 500. So it's not an old Trans Am livery, it's a modern livery on an old car, and I must say I'm actually really keen on it. So let me tell you the things I like about this livery. Firstly, I like that this is a modern livery. It's not just it's not an old Trans Am livery like we're so used to seeing. This is a livery of a car that competed in recent times, and with modern sponsors, logos and so forth on it. I really like that, just for a bit of a change. It's very, very cool. Now, one thing that is quite cool on this, the wheel finish is very, very good. It looks quite metallic. It's sort of like a dark metallic green. It's an unusual colour, and I'm sure if I looked at photos of the real car, it'd be quite an accurate reproduction, I'd imagine. But it's a little bit unique, and I really like that. Now, even though it is a modern livery, we're talking about a car that is in a quite a period sort of a colour for an old Mustang. I mean, this is the sort of colours that we saw in the 70s, so or late 60s, early 70s. So it's a modern livery, but it still kind of suits the car, which is cool. There's some nice fine detail elements. I don't know if you can see the little red toe logo or emblem on the bumper there, so you know where the tow hook is. I quite like the way that silver bumper stands out. You can see the Mustang logo with the red, white and blue stripes there on the grille. I like the headlight covers that are logoed, of course. And as usual, the detail in all of these logos and decals is very, very fine, that we're used to seeing now. I must say that it's not completely smooth finish as they've been applied in some of the parts of the car where it curves around these body lines. So not the best I've seen from Scalextric, but certainly acceptable and roaring around the track. We're not going to notice. Now, there's one key thing I love about this car, and the one thing that bugs me, it has bugged me with Scalextric Mustangs and various muscle cars over the years, is that they generally always have the same driver figure, and he's white. Oh, he's got a white jacket, he's got a white helmet, and he's got his black glasses on, just like this one, except this one has got a black jacket. So they've actually made a change to a driver of a muscle car. Well done, Scalextric. That was a good move. I like it. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see what it's like on track. It's got that cool noise with treaded tyres that cars sometimes make on plastic track. Goes pretty smoothly. Came off there. It doesn't feel like it's got a lot of magnetic downforce, not heaps, which is my preference personally. I'd rather cars went really stuck down. But I'd like to see how fast it really goes, so we'll put the timer on, do a few more laps. Oh, it's just about to get a time out of it too. It would have been the first one across the line where I would have seen how fast it was. Alright, this time maybe. This time, maybe. Not that time. Went wide on that first corner. Oh, I'm having troubles now. Okay, this time I'm going to stay on track. 6.45. 655. 637. 637. Obviously I'm going to do a few more and see if I can beat that, but 637, not real fast. A lot of Scalextric cars are quicker. This car doesn't feel like it's got, like I said, like a lot of magnetic downforce. Could be the height, the distance away from the track that the car is sitting. Maybe the wheels, you know, being a little bit bigger diameter than others might be holding it up. Could be that it's got one of those skinny magnets in it. Best thing we could do is probably open it up and find out, but I'll do a few more laps and then we'll open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so let's have a closer look and see what we've got. Now I've already undone the screws, 2 at the front and 2 at the back. No screws in the middle, in the interior, as we used to see with Scalextric. So then the body comes straight off, and it's a pretty standard chassis for Scalextric. Nothing out of the ordinary here. We've got the standard 18,000 RPM motor from Scalextric, and the sidewinder setup, and the gear ratio, I presume, is the standard 11 tooth pinion, 36 tooth main gear, and we've got rubber tyres with the tread, nylon bushes holding the axle in there and popped into place, and the standard sort of straight through nailed axle through the bushes moulded into the chassis setup that we normally get with Scalextric. And we have got the digital DPR slot there, so if you race digital you can quickly unscrew that, plug in a digital chip, and you're ready to go very, very quickly. Now the magnet I have actually already just popped out, and it was indeed one of the skinnier magnets we often see in more recent Scalextric cars, which is a magnet that I like. I like it having less downforce and giving a little more excitement to the driving. My own personal preference is to remove the magnets completely, and that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to take the magnet out, screw the body back on, and we're going to see how quick it goes without any tyre truing or any adjustments. Okay, let's see what we've got. Actually, that's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty slippery, there's no grip on the tyres, but the car seems to have quite a good balance. I think it's put tyre through, and this car's going to be going quite nicely. It's very easy, surprisingly easy to drive. I thought that was going to be a handful, but surprisingly easy without the magnets. So, better find out what the timer says. After 20 laps, 8.31 seconds was the best that I could manage, which was, I mean, it's not really fast on my track, but the main thing is that I'd like to mention, I did that without really coming off. I mean, I drove around, did 20 laps, timed them, and it was fun to drive. It was very easy to control the car. It didn't want to come out of the slot. It's got a really nice sort of inherent balance right from the get-go. So now I think what we'll do is we'll true the tyres, we'll get those grippy, and we'll see what difference it makes. So I've got the front tyres here on another axle on the machine. Now I'm giving them a very, very light true, and I'm going to take a bit of sandpaper. I'm going to take the edges off the sides just to make sure there's nothing that's going to make them sort of a bit lumpy or out around. But seeing as the axles in a Scalextric car are fixed in, we can't really just take them out and true them easily. So I'm just doing a simple quick true to improve them a little bit. So the rear wheels have just a little bit of the plastic flashing from moulding from the manufacturing in the centre of them, so I'm going to sand that off before we glue the tyres on and give them a true. The tyres are glued on, and now the tread comes off. Okay, so I imagine we've got a lot more grip now. So just to recap, trued the tyres, the front ones very gently, and the back ones I've taken the tread off, and we'll have added some grip. I haven't really gone all out, done it quite quickly actually, because I'm almost about to close up and I didn't have much time. But I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Feels a lot smoother. .04. 795. 8 seconds dead, and a crash. Quicker though, not as quick as I thought, but quicker. Might just, I'll just treat the tyres, put a little bit of oil on them, and I think that'll make quite a bit more difference as well. Well, certainly seen a big improvement. We're down to 7.60 seconds now. So with before we treated the tyres, it was 8.31 was our non-magnet time. Now we're down to 7.6. But I think to make an extra little bit of a difference, I'm going to take the standard braids off and replace them with NSR braid, which is thinner, better quality, and I'm going to change the way that it's set up around the braid plate, which I'll show you in a second, and that always gives a little bit of an improvement as well. Do that on both sides and put it back in. $7.71 twice in a row. The car feels faster, but I thought it would be faster. So I might just check that I've got enough grip on the tyres. Just a very small amount of oil on there, and I'll let that soak in a little bit and clean it off. Seven 6.2. $7.48. And a crash. $7.48 though, getting there. Tyres are clean. Alright, let's get in the 7.3s. Not that lap. Come on, 7.3s, 7.3s. $7.41, close. It always amazes me when you replace the braids with a Scalextric car and you put on nice quality braid, nice thin braid, cars do somehow seem faster. Even if the lap times aren't faster, the cars seem faster. They feel more responsive on the throttle. And I always wonder if it's in my mind. I think they really are. Going to get into the 7.3s. $7.31! That means I can get into the 7.2s. Okay, so the Scalextric Clipsal Mustang of 2011 as driven by John Bauer. Model code for this is C3671. I've very much enjoyed making this little review video. The car wasn't startling out of the box, but it had a nice balance. Took the magnet out and it was drivable straight away without touching the tyres. Trued the tyres up, actually quite quick. Put the magnet back in, yep, actually pretty quick again. The one thing I must say with truing the tyres, when the magnet was in, the car was very predictable. Initially out of the box with the magnet in and the tyres untrued, it wasn't predictable, and I did find myself coming off, excuse me, coming off a few times unexpectedly. Once I trued the tyres, that just wasn't the case. It flew around the track. But likewise, when I had trued the tyres, and well, even before I trued the tyres, when I had the magnet out, the car was predictable, very, very easy. So for me, that would put it up the list of favourite Scalextric muscle cars. Thank you very much, Scalextric. It's a great little model. And for you watching the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Okay, 7.31 is the fastest that I managed. That was the quickest lap. I was so keen to get into the twos, but it wasn't to happen. Never mind. So now we're going to stick the magnet back in, and we're going to see how fast it goes now that we've treated the tyres and changed the brakes. See what the magnet does. I'd say it'd be pretty good. But it is still one of those thin magnets, so it's not going to be really stuck down and super quick like a lot of Scalextric cars. Now if you're choosing cars to race at home, bear in mind that it's always good to have a couple that are good together. So it's good to have cars with the same chassis, and with the magnets that haven't changed over the years, if you're going to get cars with a thin magnet like this, it's nice to get another one to race with it that also has that same thin magnet. They will certainly go better together. Okay, so what we've got to remember is that with the car straight out of the box, hadn't touched a thing, the best time we managed was 6.32 seconds. So that's our target, and so let's see what happens. .61. 6.54. I'm obviously just warming up. 6.25. 6.11. 6.11 so far. Alright. Set it off on another 20 lap stint. See what happens. 598. 592. 590. 592. I was going faster every lap, now I'm going slower. 586. 578. 576. 576. And that's about 20 laps, which is what I do when I'm testing. So let's call that the fastest time, 576. I always find it hard to adjust between magnets and non-magnets. It takes me a little while to get my finger working properly. But 576 in the end, so that was pretty good.